Welcome, dear friends, to a gentle journey through 150 soft, fascinating facts about My Hero Academia, that tender spirited series that began as a simple concept about courage and grew into a worldwide phenomenon filled with heroes, classrooms, friendships, and quiet human longing. Tonight, we'll drift through the origins of this beloved story, the creative mind of Kohei Horikoshi, the students of UA High, the symbolism woven into quirks, and the emotional threads that shaped a universe where hope shines even in the smallest gestures. This evening, we'll explore the inspirations behind the characters, the intricate world building, and the legacy of a series that encouraged a generation to believe in the gentle strength within themselves. So take a slow breath in and let it fall softly. Feel the tension easing from your shoulders, slipping down your arms, untying itself from the center of your chest. Let the quiet of the night settle around you like a warm blanket. Nothing is urgent here. Nothing asks for effort. Only the soft rhythm of listening and drifting. And if you enjoy traveling through peaceful stories like this, you're welcome to subscribe and softly tell me where you're listening from tonight. Now, when you're ready, we'll begin with our first gentle facts and let the night open slowly around us. Fact 1: My Hero Academia began as a gentle spark in Kohei Horikoshi's imagination, born from his deep admiration for classic Western superheroes and his childhood longing to tell stories about courage that felt both grand and intimate. Before the series ever took shape, Horikoshi sketched small ideas about a world where powers were ordinary and heroism was something chosen quietly, not loudly. This seed eventually bloomed into a tale where vulnerability becomes strength, kindness becomes power, and everyday people find quiet bravery inside themselves. The earliest concept pages already carried the emotional softness that defines the series today. Fact 2: Before creating My Hero Academia, Horikoshi worked on several shorter series, including Umagadoki Zoo and Barrage, both of which gently shaped the emotional tone and thematic heartbeat of his later work. Though these earlier projects struggled commercially, they helped him refine a sense of warmth, expressive character design, and the delicate balance between humor and sincerity. He once described these stories as stepping stones, moments of learning that softened his creative edges and taught him to trust his quiet instincts. Many of the emotions he practiced exploring there, loneliness, hope, and belonging, flow peacefully into My Hero Academia's foundations. Fact 3: The earliest prototype of My Hero Academia was a short one-shot titled My Hero, created years before the full series. In that gentle first draft, the world lacked the large cast and complex systems we now know, but the emotional seed was already present, an ordinary boy longing to help others, despite having no power. This early version carried a softer, more intimate tone, focusing on quiet yearning rather than action. Though simple, it revealed Horikoshi's deep desire to explore stories about inner courage. The one shot became the quiet breath that later expanded into the full, vibrant universe. Fact 4: Horikoshi has often spoken about his admiration for Western superhero comics, especially the imagery of capes fluttering against open skies. As a child, he gazed at these characters not for their strength, but for the hope they embodied, the simple reassurance that someone might come to help when the world felt heavy. This emotional connection found its gentle way into My Hero Academia's core. Instead of focusing on overwhelming power, the series emphasizes the soft, human reasons behind heroism, small kindnesses, quiet promises, and the desire to lift others up. That childhood feeling still lives in every panel. Fact 5. When planning the world of quirks, Horikoshi wanted powers to feel natural, less like gifts from destiny, and more like gentle quirks of biology, little deviations that made the world quietly extraordinary. He pictured a society where the miraculous became mundane, where everyday people carried tiny sparks of wonder in their daily routines. This idea allowed him to explore heroism as a choice rather than a default path. In this soft, lived in world, the beauty lies in contrast, ordinary hearts navigating extraordinary lives. The quirk system developed slowly, shaped by the desire to ground magic in quiet humanity. Fact 6. Horikoshi has said that he creates characters by imagining their emotional essence first, the quiet fears, hopes, and gentle habits that make them human, before deciding their powers or designs. He believes that even the loudest heroes begin with soft inner truths. In the earliest planning stages of My Hero Academia, he filled notebooks with reflections on personality and vulnerability, long before drawing costumes or abilities. This approach helped anchor the entire series in warmth and emotional resonance. Every character, no matter how flashy their quirk, carries a little whisper of Horikoshi's desire to portray ordinary hearts learning to shine. Fact 7. Before settling on My Hero Academia, Horikoshi experimented with several working titles, each exploring different shades of emotion and focus. Some versions leaned toward the school setting, while others emphasized themes of nurturing courage. Ultimately, the final title was chosen because it blended the youthful academic environment with the gentle idea of learning to become a hero, not through battles, but through growth, reflection, and personal struggle. The word academia evokes a calm structure, a place of quiet improvement, while hero carries emotional warmth. The combination softly frames the series as a journey of becoming, not simply achieving. Fact 8. The tone of My Hero. Academia was deliberately shaped to balance lightness and melancholy. Horikoshi wanted a world where even bright colors carried gentle shadows, where characters felt deeply but moved softly forward. He once described his writing style as finding light beneath heavy clouds. This emotional atmosphere can be traced back to his own experiences with self doubt and perseverance. Rather than creating a story of invincible champions, he crafted one about fragile hearts, learning to stay hopeful. The contrast between vibrant hero imagery and quiet internal struggles became the emotional signature of the entire series. Fact 9. UA High School's concept emerged from Horikoshi's desire to create a place that felt both structured and nurturing, a gentle sanctuary where young people could explore who they wanted to become. He imagined hallways filled not with noise, but with small moments of learning, friendships forming, dreams awakening, quiet insecurities being soothed. The school's rigorous training systems were designed not to intimidate, but to symbolize guided growth, like a steady hand supporting a small flame. UA became the heart of the series, a space where hope could bloom slowly, safely, and without judgment. Fact 10. When My Hero Academia was first serialized, Horikoshi worried quietly that readers might not connect with its emotional softness, its emphasis on vulnerability and hope. But the response was overwhelmingly warm, with many readers drawn to the gentle humanity beneath the superhero world. The early chapters resonated because they felt familiar, ordinary people striving to do good, even when they felt small or uncertain. That heartfelt reaction encouraged Horikoshi to lean even more deeply into themes of compassion and resilience. Over time, the series transformed into a global comfort story, beloved for its tender emotional core. Fact 11: Kohei Horikoshi's creative journey was shaped by a quiet but powerful drive to bring new perspectives to the superhero genre. Growing up, he felt disconnected from the traditional, overwhelming displays of strength in classic comic books. Instead, he longed for stories that explored the emotional layers of heroism, where vulnerability, doubt, and growth were just as significant as power. This soft but persistent longing guided his development of My Hero Academia, where even the strongest characters struggle with personal weaknesses, yet they rise with courage. His deep admiration for both heroes and ordinary people became the foundation for the series. What itself, Horikoshi's early works, like Umagadoki Zoo, carried a similar blend of humor and earnestness that would later be refined in My Hero Academia. While those series weren't as commercially successful, they allowed Horikoshi to fine tune his storytelling style, learning to balance light-hearted moments with emotional depth. These early experiences helped him craft the delicate pacing that My Hero Academia would later embody, where each triumph feels earned and each defeat carries its own quiet weight. The vulnerability present in his early characters was a key ingredient, setting the stage for the emotionally rich characters that would follow. Fact 13: The influence of classic American superheroes like Superman and Spider Man can be felt deeply in My Hero Academia. However, Horikoshi was particularly drawn to the emotional elements of these characters rather than their overwhelming strength. He admired how they wrestled with personal issues and doubts, offering a glimpse into the complexities behind their bright personas. For Horikoshi, creating heroes who were not simply perfect beings, but individuals struggling with their own inner demons became a vital part of the series. He wanted the heroes to feel human, to inspire not just awe, but empathy and connection. Fact 14: Horikoshi has mentioned that his first love as a child was not manga or anime, but rather the world of video games, especially the Super Mario series. The simplicity of these early games, with their emphasis on perseverance and small, joyful victories, quietly influenced his approach to storytelling. In My Hero Academia, the idea of overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds with heart and determination echoes the same quiet resilience found in video games, where persistence and small, meaningful actions lead to bigger, grander successes. This sense of gradual progress, one step at a time, remains a core theme in the series. Fact 15: While My Hero Academia is often celebrated for its fast paced action, Horikoshi ensures that the emotional beats of the story unfold slowly, allowing each character to evolve with time. He once described his approach to writing as a process of laying bricks, where each emotional revelation or character development is built gradually, not rushed. This slow, steady accumulation of growth allows the audience to form a deep connection with the characters. Whether it's Izuku Midoriya's quiet journey of self belief or Katsuki Bakugo's softer moments, each layer is carefully placed, building up the emotional depth that defines the series. Fact 16: The decision to focus on a school setting for My Hero Academia was inspired by Horikoshi's own experiences. As a child, He found solace in the supportive communities found within school clubs, where students came together to share their passions and struggles. For Horikoshi, UA High School became a metaphor for this kind of nurturing environment, a space where young heroes could learn not just how to fight, but how to care, how to grow, and how to support each other. The school setting allowed for both personal and academic growth, a place where heroes were made through experience, not destiny. Fact 17. Horikoshi's design process for characters is incredibly detailed, with each quirk reflecting something deeply personal about their owners. For example, Shoto Todoroki's dual abilities, fire and ice, symbolize his internal struggle between his two parental influences, embodying the quiet conflict he feels within himself. In designing each character's quirk, Horikoshi often considers their personality, upbringing, and emotional journey, resulting in powers that resonate on a deeply personal level. This approach ensures that each character's strength, both physical and emotional, feels earned and organic, allowing the audience to connect with them on a more intimate level. Fact 18. The development of Izuku Midoriya as the protagonist was a process of balancing his inherent kindness with his struggles. Horikoshi wanted to create a hero who wasn't born with great power, but instead had to earn it, not through grand gestures, but through the quiet acts of kindness and courage that define a true hero. Midoriya's journey from a powerless boy to a determined hero is about finding strength not in his quirks, but in his heart. His vulnerability makes him deeply relatable, his quiet growth a mirror for anyone who has ever had to fight for their dreams. Fact 19. Katsuki Bakugo's character development is one of the most intricate in the series. Initially, his brash, explosive personality seemed to mark him as a straightforward antagonist to Izuku. However, Horikoshi's careful attention to Bakugo's backstory slowly revealed the softer, more complex layers of his character. Bakugo's explosive temper reflects his inner turmoil and struggle with his own insecurities. The emotional depth behind his anger, stemming from feelings of isolation and pressure to be the best, becomes more apparent as the series unfolds, showing that his journey is about learning humility and understanding others, not just victory. Fact 20. The use of heroes and villains in My Hero Academia is a deliberate choice to explore the gray areas between good and evil. Horikoshi's goal was never to create simple, one dimensional characters, but rather to delve into the complexities of motivation, morality, and choice. Even the League of Villains, with their dark and tragic backstories, are portrayed not as pure evil, but as deeply flawed individuals, reacting to a society that has neglected them. In this nuanced world, heroism and villainy are not absolute. They are shaped by perspective, experience, and the quiet decisions we make every day. Fact 21. The concept of quirks in My Hero Academia is rooted in the idea that extraordinary abilities could emerge from the simplest aspects of human life. Horikoshi wanted the powers to feel natural, as though they were just another part of existence, woven into the fabric of daily life. In this world, quirks are as much a part of someone's identity as their personality, shaping the way they interact with the world. Some quirks are gentle and subtle, while others are loud and overpowering, but all are deeply personal, reflecting the emotional core of the individual. Fact 22. Initially, Horikoshi had difficulty settling on how quirks would function in the world of My Hero Academia. He wanted them to be both relatable and fantastical, grounded in everyday life, while offering endless creative possibilities. The first iteration of quirks was less structured, but as the story evolved, the rules began to form. Quirks became an essential aspect of identity, with individuals shaping their lives around the abilities they were born with. This thoughtful development allowed quirks to transcend simple superpowers, becoming a deeper reflection of each character's journey, struggles, and growth. Fact 23. In the world of My Hero Academia, the origins of quirks are quietly tied to the evolution of humanity itself. While their exact origins are shrouded in mystery, it is suggested that quirks began to appear gradually as part of an unspoken shift in society. Some see quirks as an evolution, a new phase in human development, while others view them as a disruption of the natural order. This quiet tension between progress and uncertainty underscores the deeper themes of the series: how society adapts to change, how fear of the unknown can shape behavior, and how humanity clings to its past. Fact 24. Horikoshi once revealed that the quirks were designed to be both creative and human in their nature, drawing inspiration from everyday activities and objects. For example, one of the quirks, zero gravity, was inspired by the feeling of weightlessness when floating in water. This grounded, sensory approach to power design helps make the quirks feel more integrated into the world. Each quirk, no matter how outlandish, is tied to something simple: a feeling, a movement, or a moment, allowing the viewer to connect with the powers on an emotional level rather than just seeing them as fantastical tools. Fact 25. One of the most powerful aspects of quirks in My Hero Academia is how they influence identity. Characters are often defined not just by their personality or actions, but by their quirks. For some, their abilities are a source of pride, while for others, they are a source of shame. This deeply personal connection to one's quirk reflects the broader themes of self acceptance and inner conflict in the series. It's through learning to embrace or understand their quirks that the characters come to understand themselves, adding emotional depth to each interaction, each victory, and each struggle. Fact 26. The quirkless character, Izuku Midoriya, was born as a deliberate contrast to the quirk-driven world of My Hero Academia. His lack of power forces him to rely on his inner strength and heart, embodying the series' message that true heroism isn't found in raw ability, but in compassion, determination, and empathy. Midoriya's journey is one of growth, as he learns that even without a quirk, he can still be a hero, proving that qualities like kindness and perseverance can become just as powerful as any superhuman ability. His journey is the heart of the story's quiet message. Fact 27. The concept of mutant quirks, which can often result in physical alterations to the user's body, was introduced to highlight the complexities of quirks beyond simple abilities. These quirks are often seen as burdens, making their bearers feel alienated or different. Characters like Mei Hatsumi, who possesses a quirk that makes her see potential in gadgets and machinery, exemplify how quirks can be misunderstood. These quirks can often make individuals feel isolated, and yet, as we see with Mei, they can also be a source of unique strength and perspective, showing the quiet power of acceptance. Fact 28. The idea of quirk development was carefully crafted to reflect how people grow and evolve over time. Just like human skills, quirks can be refined, altered, or enhanced through experience, training, and emotional growth. For example, Izuku's quirk, One for All, grows stronger as his understanding of it deepens. This concept of personal growth mirrors the overarching narrative of My Hero Academia, where each character evolves not just in terms of their abilities, but emotionally and mentally. Quirks, in this way, are symbolic of the inner transformations we all go through in life, making them feel universally relatable. Fact 29. The theme of mentorship plays a quiet but crucial role in the development of quirks. In My Hero Academia, quirks are often passed down or influenced by previous generations, adding a layer of legacy to the story. For example, All Might's passing of One for All to Midoriya symbolizes a transfer not only of power, but of wisdom, responsibility, and legacy. Mentors in the series are seen as guides who help shape their students' quirks, teaching them not only to control their abilities, but to use them for greater, more selfless purposes. This quiet exchange of knowledge is integral to the narrative. Fact 30. As My Hero Academia delves deeper into the world of quirks, it becomes clear that the emotional connections between characters are often intertwined with their abilities. Whether it's the shared bond between students with similar quirks or the quiet understanding that develops between mentor and pupil, the quirks themselves are symbolic of the relationships formed in the series. The most powerful moments in My Hero Academia often don't come from displays of strength, but from the soft, shared connection between individuals, demonstrating that the true power of a hero lies in the bonds they create with others. Fact 31. UA High School, the prestigious institution at the heart of My Hero Academia, was created to embody both the rigorous nature of hero training and the quiet, nurturing growth of young people. Horikoshi designed the school as a place where students would not only develop their quirks, but also learn to understand themselves and their emotions. UA High is more than just a training ground for future heroes. It is a symbolic space where potential is discovered, where failure is seen as part of the journey, and where friendships bloom in the quiet moments between challenges. Fact 32. The architecture of UA High School reflects both the traditional and the modern, combining classic school elements with futuristic designs that suggest the integration of quirks into everyday life. The expansive campus, with its high-tech training facilities and vast open areas, creates an atmosphere of opportunity and possibility. But behind the sleek buildings and advanced technology, there is a warmth that runs through the heart of UA High, a reminder that the true purpose of the school is not only to create heroes, but to shape kind, compassionate individuals capable of navigating the world with courage. Fact 33. Horikoshi has mentioned that UA High was inspired by his own experiences with school, particularly the sense of camaraderie and shared struggle he felt with classmates. The emotional warmth found in school clubs, where students come together despite their differences to work toward common goals, is echoed in the student interactions at UA High. Though their paths may differ, all students are united by the quiet understanding that they are working towards something greater than themselves. This unspoken bond makes the school feel like a family, where each person is given the space to grow at their own pace. Fact 34. The teachers at UA High are an essential part of the nurturing environment that defines the school. They are not only instructors, but also mentors, guiding students through their emotional and personal struggles as much as their academic ones. Characters like Aizawa and All Might are both teachers and emotional anchors, offering a steady presence that students can rely on during moments of doubt. Their quiet wisdom and deep care for their students mirror the themes of growth and compassion that permeate the series, showing that heroes are made not just through training, but through deep, empathetic connections. Fact 35. The UA entrance exam, while intense and full of action, carries a deeper meaning in the context of the series. It represents the student's first step into a world that will challenge them in ways they never imagined, both physically and emotionally. But more than that, the exam is a moment of personal reflection. It is not simply about defeating obstacles, it is about discovering the strength within oneself and learning to rely on both one's quirk and one's heart. The quiet anxiety before the exam, the hope that fills each student's chest, mirrors the universal fear of stepping into the unknown. Fact 36. Horikoshi's portrayal of UA High School reflects a belief that a hero's journey is not one of solitary struggle, but one built on teamwork and mutual support. The dynamic between students in Class 1A is carefully crafted to show how their strengths and weaknesses complement each other. The quiet moments of support between characters, whether it's Midoriya's calm encouragement or Bakugo's gruff but undeniable care, underscore the series' core message. Heroism is not just about power, but about learning to lift others up. In this way, UA High is not only a training ground, but a crucible for forging bonds that transcend differences. Fact 37. UA High's unique and varied classrooms are designed to reflect the diverse nature of the students' quirks. From the more traditional classrooms to the high-tech training grounds, each space is crafted to allow the students to explore their abilities in ways that feel natural. The school's architecture speaks to the diversity of the quirks themselves. No single space can fully encompass the complexity of what the students are capable of. Each room, each training area, is a reflection of the belief that learning, growth, and heroism take many forms, often unfolding quietly outside the spotlight. Fact 38. While UA High is often portrayed as a place of intense competition, there is a deep underlying current of camaraderie that runs through the students' interactions. The quiet rivalry between Class 1A and 1B, for example, is less about animosity and more about mutual respect. The students push each other to be better, not out of a desire to win at all costs, but out of a shared understanding that they are all striving toward the same goal, to become the best version of themselves. These moments of silent competition are also moments of self-discovery and quiet growth. Fact 39. The school festival arc in My Hero Academia is a quieter, more reflective moment in the series, focusing on the students' personal growth and their ability to come together as a class. Rather than battling enemies or struggling with their quirks, the students face the challenge of expressing themselves creatively, showcasing their talents and personalities in a way that is both intimate and vulnerable. This peaceful arc highlights the emotional journey the students undergo, learning that their worth is not defined by their quirk alone, but by their ability to connect with others and express their true selves. Fact 40. The relationship between UA High and the world outside the school is one of gentle tension. While the school is a place of growth, learning, and hope, the wider society is often filled with distrust, fear, and the pressure to conform to societal expectations. This contrast is a quiet but constant theme in My Hero Academia, how individuals must reconcile their personal dreams and identities with the expectations placed on them. UA High becomes a sanctuary, a place where students can explore their quirks freely, but the looming question remains: how will the outside world accept them once they leave? Fact 41: Class 1A was carefully designed to represent a wide array of personalities, quirks, and emotional journeys. Each character was crafted with an individual backstory that intertwined their quirks with their emotional growth. Horikoshi wanted each student to be more than just their abilities. They had to be symbols of quiet resilience, personal struggles, and the desire to be better. From Izuku's journey to find his own worth to Bakugo's search for humility, each character's path reflects the universal quest for self acceptance, making Class 1A a diverse group of heroes in both strength and spirit. Fact 42: Izuku Midoriya, the heart of Class 1A, was designed to be a hero who embodied both vulnerability and determination. Unlike many protagonists in superhero stories, Izuku is not born with immense power. Instead, his power comes through hard work, sacrifice, and personal growth. His design reflects this journey. His quiet determination is reflected in his wide, expressive eyes and his posture, which shows both uncertainty and resolve. His character arc is a slow unfolding of courage, where even his quiet moments of fear become stepping stones toward the greater heroism that lies within him. Fact 43: Katsuki Bakugo's explosive personality and fiery quirk make him one of the most memorable characters in Class 1A. But beneath his brash exterior lies a deep well of insecurities and emotional turmoil. His quirk, which allows him to create powerful explosions, is a reflection of his inner conflict. Initially, Bakugo's pride and aggression seem to define him, but over time, his character softens as he learns to channel his anger into something more productive. His emotional growth is slow but profound, turning his once lone wolf persona into that of a mentor and a more empathetic individual. Fact 44: Shoto Todoroki's character is built around the quiet conflict between his parents and the tug of war between his fire and ice powers. His story is one of emotional healing as he learns to reconcile the love he feels for his mother with the resentment he holds for his father. Horikoshi's careful design of Todoroki's internal battle is mirrored in his quirk, which is both a source of power and pain. Todoroki's journey is one of gradual self acceptance, learning that he is not defined by his father's expectations, but by his own decisions, quiet strength, and resolve. Fact 45: Ochako Uraraka, with her zero gravity quirk, is one of the most endearing and emotional characters in Class 1A. Her quiet, heartfelt desire to become a hero stems from a desire to support her family, particularly her parents, who struggle financially. Uraraka's quirk, which allows her to make objects weightless, mirrors her emotional journey, lightening the burdens of those around her, both physically and emotionally. Her soft, caring nature makes her one of the most relatable characters, showing that heroism comes not from strength alone, but from the ability to lift others when they are most in need. Fact 46: Aida Tenya's character is grounded in a deep sense of duty and honor, influenced by his family's legacy as pro-heroes. His quirk, Engine, reflects his unwavering drive for justice and his belief in following the Kate rules. Ida's journey, however, is a gentle exploration of how the rigidity of his upbringing can sometimes hinder his ability to be flexible in the face of complex situations. His emotional arc is one of balance, where he learns to combine his sense of responsibility with the need for empathy, helping him grow into a leader who leads with both heart and intellect. Fact 47: Momo Yaoyorozu, with her creation quirk, is a character that exemplifies quiet intelligence and inner strength. Her ability to create objects from her body makes her a strategic thinker, constantly analyzing the world around her. Her design reflects her calm, composed personality. She is often seen thinking before acting, considering all options. Her journey is one of self confidence, as she learns to trust her instincts and assert herself in situations where her intellect and quiet leadership shine. Yaoyorozu's growth is subtle but powerful as she becomes an essential part of Class 1A's emotional and strategic support. Fact 48: Kirishima Eijiro's character is rooted in his deep desire to be seen as a manly hero, someone whose strength and resolve are unshakable. His quirk, hardening, symbolizes his struggle with self doubt and his constant effort to prove himself. However, as the series progresses, Kirishima learns that true strength is not just about physical power, but emotional resilience. His character arc focuses on the quiet realization that vulnerability is just as vital to being a hero as bravery. This emotional depth makes Kirishima one of the most endearing characters, embodying the soft strength that comes from within. Fact 49: Tsuyu Asui, with her frog quirk, brings a sense of calm and practicality to Class 1A. Her design is inspired by her ability to stay grounded, both literally and figuratively, in chaotic situations. Tsuyu is often the voice of reason, offering clear headed solutions in moments of tension. Her journey is one of quiet confidence, learning to embrace her unique quirk and use it not as a source of embarrassment, but as a strength. Tsuyu's growth is slow but steady, demonstrating the importance of staying true to oneself and embracing what makes you different in a world that often values conformity. Fact 50: Yayorozu Momo's quiet yet impactful growth in My Hero Academia reflects the themes of understanding one's limitations and strengths. As someone with immense intelligence and the ability to create any object from her body, Momo at first struggles with her own sense of self worth. Her journey is about realizing that knowledge and intellect aren't always enough, that to truly lead, you must trust yourself and your team. Her quirk represents this internal journey. By learning to balance her strengths with her emotional growth, Momo becomes a key pillar in Class 1A, showing that intellect and heart work hand in hand. Fact 51: Class 1B serves as a subtle mirror to Class 1A, with its own unique set of students, each contributing to the narrative with their own quiet struggles and growth. The rivalry between the two classes is not based on animosity, but on mutual respect and the shared desire to grow. Class 1B students often serve as a reminder that growth doesn't always come in the spotlight. Their quieter achievements and less flashy quirks are just as important, highlighting that heroism doesn't have to be loud to be powerful, and that true strength lies in persistence and effort. Fact 52: Kosei Tsuburaba, one of the students in Class 1B, has a quirky, unique ability that allows him to create force fields out of thin air. While his quirk is undeniably useful, Tsuburaba's character is a study in personal growth. Initially seen as a character with little more than comedic moments, Tsuburaba's journey is a quiet reflection of overcoming self doubt. His character development is not as visible as some others, but his growth, learning to take responsibility and work alongside his classmates, speaks to the importance of understanding one's worth, even when others may not immediately notice. Fact 53: Manga Fukidashi, another member of Class 1B, has the ability to produce sound waves, which she uses to her advantage in various combat scenarios. Her quirk isn't flashy, but it's a testament to Horikoshi's ability to make each quirk uniquely personal. Fukidashi's journey is about embracing the uniqueness of her power and learning how to use it strategically. Her development may not be the central focus of the series, but her presence in Class 1B reminds us that every character, no matter how understated their abilities or personality, has a role to play in the larger story of growth. Fact 54: Sekijiro Khan, a member of Class 1B, has the ability to produce hard, durable armor from his body. While his quirk is physically imposing, Khan's true challenge lies in learning to balance his power with emotional restraint. His journey reflects the series' larger theme of learning when to act and when to hold back. Khan's emotional growth is subtle but meaningful as he moves from relying solely on his strength to understanding the deeper emotional connections that define true heroism. His quiet introspection shows that even the most physically powerful characters must evolve emotionally to truly embody heroism. Fact 55: Kota Izumi, the young boy who initially appeared as a side character in the summer camp arc, has a quiet yet poignant arc of growth throughout the series. As the son of two pro heroes, Kota initially holds a deep resentment toward heroes, which stems from the tragic loss of his parents. His journey is one of healing, as he slowly comes to understand the complexity of heroism and the importance of forgiveness. Kota's story is a reminder that even the most quiet characters can have deeply transformative arcs, showing that healing often comes in small, subtle steps. Fact 56: In the world of My Hero Academia, students like Mei Hatsume represent the quieter but no less important aspect of hero society: innovation. Mai, with her love for gadgets and engineering, brings a softer kind of heroism to the story. Her creations are not about overwhelming power, but about making things work, building something out of nothing. Through her character, Horikoshi highlights the importance of intellect and creativity in heroism. May's journey reflects the power of quiet invention, where ideas and perseverance can be just as powerful as brute force in shaping the future. Fact 57: Hitoshi Shinso, though not part of Class 1A, plays an important role in the growth of the students, particularly in their understanding of what it means to be a hero. His quirk, which allows him to brainwash others through his voice, initially causes others to view him with suspicion and fear. However, Shinso's journey is one of proving that a hero's heart doesn't always look the same. His arc focuses on overcoming the stereotype of what a hero should be, showing that even those with darker, more misunderstood abilities have the potential for growth, empathy, and change. Fact 58: Toru Hagakure, the invisible girl, may not have a quirk that stands out in a traditional sense, but her invisibility symbolizes her quiet presence within the group. Her emotional journey is one of finding her voice and becoming visible in both the literal and metaphorical sense. Though often seen as playful and lighthearted, Hagakure's growth is subtle. She is learning to harness her power and to assert herself within Class 1A. And as the series progresses, her contributions become more integral to the success of the group, illustrating the quiet but essential role she plays. Fact 59: Sero Hanta, the student with the tape quirk, has often been regarded as one of the more quirky and comedic characters of Class 1A. However, his growth is rooted in his loyalty and reliability. Sero's journey is one of quietly proving his worth, not through grand, heroic gestures, but by supporting his friends and class in their time of need. His quirk, while seemingly simple, becomes a symbol of trust and teamwork, showing that heroism often lies not in the spotlight, but in the quiet acts of support that hold a team together in the darkest moments. Fact 60: Yuga Aoyama, whose naval laser quirk allows him to shoot a powerful laser from his belly, is one of the more eccentric characters in Class 1A. His flamboyant personality and odd sense of pride are often used for comedic effect, but underneath his confident exterior is a quieter struggle with self esteem and acceptance. Aoyama's growth is about learning that true heroism isn't about flashy displays or seeking attention, but about having the courage to face one's insecurities and continuing to move forward. His emotional arc, though subtle, speaks to the universal journey of finding self worth. Fact 61: The pro heroes in My Hero Academia are not only symbols of strength, but also reflections of the emotional complexities that define true heroism. Each hero, from All Might to Endeavor, carries their own quiet struggles and personal growth. All Might, for example, represents the ideal of heroism, a symbol of hope and courage. But behind his bright smile lies a deep sense of sacrifice, the weight of maintaining an image of invincibility. These heroes embody the idea that being a hero isn't about perfection. It's about embracing one's flaws and continuing to fight for others, no matter the cost. Fact 62: All Might, the symbol of peace, was designed to embody the very essence of heroism, both in appearance and spirit. His towering physique and radiant smile inspire awe, but his true strength lies in his unwavering belief in others. All Might's journey is one of quiet sacrifice, as he gives everything he has to protect society. His physical weakness, after passing One for All to Midoriya, serves as a metaphor for the toll that heroism takes on the human spirit. His legacy, however, remains in the lessons he taught. That true heroism is rooted in compassion, a hope, and selflessness. Fact 63: Endeavor, often seen as the more abrasive and cold hero, represents the darker side of heroism, driven by ambition, pride, and the desire for recognition. However, Horikoshi's portrayal of Endeavor is layered with complexity, showing that his brutal nature is a response to deep, unresolved emotional pain. As a father, Endeavor struggles with his inability to connect with his family, especially Shoto, his son. His journey is one of redemption, as he slowly learns that heroism cannot be built on pride alone. It requires humility, emotional honesty, and the willingness to change, even when it's the hardest thing to do. Fact 64: Mirko, the rabbit hero, is a relatively new addition to the Pro Heroes roster, but her presence is one of quiet strength. Known for her agility and fierce determination, Mirko is a reflection of the series' evolving definition of heroism. Her quirk may be physically powerful, but her true strength lies in her fearlessness and her commitment to doing what is right, regardless of the odds. Her journey in the series focuses on her unyielding resolve, showing that heroism can be found not just in large battles, but in the everyday courage to stand up for others. Fact 65. The character of Best Jeanist, the pro hero known for his ability to control fabric, represents the quiet, unassuming strength that often goes unnoticed in the world of heroes. His power isn't flashy, but it's highly effective, demonstrating that heroism comes in many forms. Genist's calm demeanor and focus on the importance of maintaining one's integrity in the face of adversity highlight the emotional resilience required to be a true hero. His philosophy centers on the belief that heroes must remain grounded in their values, serving as a reminder that strength isn't always about overwhelming power. Fact 66. The concept of sidekicks in My Hero Academia serves as a gentle reminder of the teamwork and support that heroes rely on. Sidekicks, while often overshadowed by their more famous mentors, are integral to the success of pro heroes. Characters like Gran Torino, who trains Midoriya and plays a subtle but crucial role in All Might's past, are prime examples of the quiet, foundational roles that sidekicks play. They are the steady support that allows the more prominent heroes to shine, highlighting the importance of community and collaboration in the world of heroism. Fact 67. The pro hero world in My Hero Academia is not just about fighting villains, it's also about managing the delicate balance between personal life and professional duty. Many of the pro heroes, including the likes of All Might and Endeavor, struggle with the emotional toll that their roles take on their personal relationships. This theme underscores the idea that being a hero is not without sacrifice. Horikoshi uses these moments to remind the audience that true heroism involves not just defeating enemies, but also learning to protect the things that matter most, even when it's difficult. Fact 68. Aizawa Shota, also known as Eraserhead, may not fit the traditional mold of a pro hero, but his quiet strength is one of the most impactful in the series. His quirk, which allows him to erase other people's quirks, reflects his calm, analytical nature. Aizawa's emotional journey is one of quiet selflessness, as he continually puts the well-being of his students above his own. His protective nature is subtle, but it is through his mentorship that the students of Class 1A grow emotionally. Aizawa teaches them that heroism is as much about sacrifice as it is about power. Fact 69. The mentorship provided by pro heroes in My Hero Academia extends beyond the classroom. Characters like All Might, who has seen the cost of being a hero firsthand, are dedicated to teaching their students the deeper emotional lessons of heroism. All Might's guidance is rooted in understanding the heavy responsibility that comes with great power, and his lessons to Midoriya emphasize not just physical strength, but moral courage. His legacy is a reminder that heroism requires wisdom, emotional depth, and the willingness to protect others, even at the cost of one's own well-being. Fact 70. Hound Dog, a lesser known but still notable pro hero, reflects the broader theme of how heroes in My Hero Academia are not always given the attention they deserve. His quirk allows him to track and subdue criminals using his canine-like abilities. While his role may seem minor compared to more prominent characters, Hound Dog's presence emphasizes that every hero, no matter how small their contribution, plays a vital role in the greater good. This quiet heroism is symbolic of the smaller, unnoticed efforts that make a society function, highlighting that all acts of courage matter, no matter their scale. Fact 71. All Might, the symbol of peace, was designed to embody the ideal of a hero in every way. His bright smile, heroic physique, and larger than life presence are meant to inspire hope and strength in everyone who witnesses him. But behind the overwhelming optimism lies a quiet burden, the weight of always needing to be the strongest. All Might's journey is one of sacrifice, not just in terms of his body, but also in terms of his emotional well being. His fight to protect the world is deeply tied to his personal struggle to reconcile his power with his humanity. Fact 72. The decision to make All Might's true form a fragile near death figure was a bold narrative choice. It serves as a reminder that even the most powerful figures have their limits. His frailty symbolizes the passing of the torch to the next generation, namely Midoriya's, and the realization that true heroism isn't about physical strength, but about inspiring others to be their best. All Might's vulnerability makes him even more heroic, as it's through his fragility that the series explores the emotional cost of heroism and the quiet power of legacy, mentorship, and hope. Fact 73. All Might's role as a mentor to Midoriya is one of the most emotionally resonant parts of My Hero Academia. The torch he passes to Midoriya symbolizes not only the transfer of power, but the quiet teaching of what it means to be a hero. All Might's lessons are grounded in compassion, courage, and selflessness, and his influence on Midoriya's development is immense. Through their relationship, Horikoshi shows that true heroes inspire others, not just through actions, but through their character, showing that heroism is as much about kindness and empathy as it is about strength. Fact 74. All Might's costume, which includes a cape, bright colors, and a bold emblem, is a visual representation of his larger than life persona. His design is intentionally heroic, embodying the ideals of a hero that inspire awe and admiration. However, Horikoshi also uses All Might's costume to show the weight of these ideals. The bright colors and shining symbol reflect the hope and peace he brings to the world, but they also highlight the pressure and responsibility that come with being a symbol. All Might's costume is a balance of inspiration and the heavy toll of living up to those expectations. Fact 75. All Might's transformation from a symbol of invincibility to a frail, injured figure is one of the most poignant parts of the series. This shift in his character symbolizes the passing of time and the natural limits of even the greatest heroes. All Might's struggle with his weakening body parallels the internal journey he undergoes as he comes to terms with his own vulnerability. His transition from a hero who could save everyone to one who must rely on others to carry the weight of heroism speaks to the emotional depth of his character arc. Fact 76. All Might's quiet moments of reflection, particularly after his retirement, show the emotional toll of heroism. He often questions whether he has done enough, whether his legacy will truly live on. These moments highlight the series' deeper message that heroes are not defined by their strength alone, but by their willingness to face their own doubts and vulnerabilities. All Might's quiet struggles off the battlefield are a reminder that even those who seem invincible are still human, carrying the weight of their past decisions and their desire to make a difference in the world. Fact 77. The iconic line, "I am here," spoken by All Might, is a symbol of his unwavering commitment to peace and justice. It is a declaration not just of his physical presence, but of his emotional support. All Might's voice, always confident and strong, offers comfort and reassurance to those who hear it, even when his body can no longer back it up. This line is repeated throughout the series, serving as a reminder of the role heroes play in offering hope and stability. It's a promise that, even in times of struggle, heroes can provide strength to others. Fact 78: All Might's relationship with his former mentor, Nana Shimura, deeply influences his emotional journey. Nana's death and her passing of One for All to All Might marked the beginning of his transformation into the symbol of peace, but it also left him with a deep sense of responsibility. Throughout the series, All Might reflects on her sacrifice and the promise he made to continue her legacy. This quiet connection shows that heroism is often built upon the sacrifices of others, and it's through the guidance and love of those who came before that true heroes are shaped. Fact 79: All Might's deep emotional bond with his students, especially Midoriya, shows that his legacy is not just about fighting villains, but about nurturing the next generation of heroes. His quiet pride in Midoriya's growth, even after he passes on One for All, speaks to his deep belief in the importance of mentorship and guidance. All Might's journey is about more than just physical strength. It's about the quieter moments of teaching, the emotional moments of connection, and the realization that a hero's true legacy is found in the lives they touch and the hearts they inspire. Fact 80: All Might's quiet realization that he cannot be the world's hero forever is a pivotal moment in the series. His decision to retire is not one of surrender, but of acceptance, an acknowledgement that the world must evolve and new heroes must rise to take on the mantle. This decision represents the emotional maturity of All Might's character, who understands that heroism is not about holding on to power, but about ensuring that others are ready to carry the burden of peace. His quiet farewell to his role as the symbol of peace is both heartbreaking and hopeful, signaling the beginning of a new era. Fact 81: Izuku Midoriya's character was intentionally designed to contrast with traditional, heroic figures. He was never meant to be a naturally gifted hero, but rather one who must earn his place through hard work, empathy, and determination. Midoriya's journey is about discovering that true strength lies not in innate talent, but in the willingness to stand up for others, even when you feel weak. His quiet resolve, despite his lack of power at the start, makes his growth both inspiring and relatable, proving that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Fact 82: Midoriya's character design reflects his emotional depth and personal growth. His wide, expressive eyes convey his sensitivity and determination, often mirroring his internal struggles. Initially, Midoriya's body language is reserved, reflecting his lack of confidence. But as he grows, his posture becomes more assertive, his movements more purposeful. This subtle physical transformation highlights his emotional journey, from an uncertain, quirkless boy to a hero who embraces his potential. Midoriya's development is mirrored in his actions, showing that the evolution of a hero isn't just about abilities, but about a quiet belief in one's own worth. Fact 83: Midoriya's growth as a hero is built on the quiet mentorship he receives from All Might. Through All Might's guidance, Midoriya learns that heroism is not about overwhelming power, but about compassion and courage. All Might's influence is deeply felt throughout Midoriya's journey, shaping his moral compass and his desire to help others. Even when All Might is no longer physically capable of being the symbol of peace, Midoriya carries his legacy forward. This mentor student relationship speaks to the power of emotional support and the quiet impact that one person can have on another's growth. Fact 84. One of Midoriya's most defining characteristics is his empathy for others, especially his classmates. He often sees the good in people before they see it in themselves, which helps him form strong, meaningful bonds. His deep understanding of others is a reflection of his own vulnerability and insecurity. Midoriya's empathy makes him a natural leader, as he is not only focused on his own growth, but also on helping others become their best selves. His kindness and selflessness are quiet strengths, showing that heroism is not just about individual accomplishments, but about lifting others up along the way. Fact 85. Midoriya's inner conflict with his quirk, One for All, is a central part of his emotional journey. Initially, he struggles to control the overwhelming power, often injuring himself in the process. This conflict is symbolic of his larger battle with self-worth and his fear of failure. As the series progresses, Midoriya learns to trust his body and his abilities, reflecting the quiet, personal journey of overcoming self-doubt. His growth with One for All is not just physical, it is emotional, as he learns to embrace his role as a hero and the responsibilities that come with it. Fact 86. Midoriya's relationship with Bakugo is one of the most complex in My Hero Academia. While Bakugo initially views Midoriya as a rival, their dynamic deepens over time. Midoriya, despite Bakugo's harshness, continues to support him, seeing beyond his explosive personality to the vulnerability underneath. This quiet understanding grows as both characters evolve. Midoriya's persistence in supporting Bakugo, even when he faces hostility, reflects the quiet strength of forgiveness and patience. Their relationship is a testament to the idea that heroism isn't about defeating one's enemies, but understanding and uplifting those who need it most. Fact 87. Midoriya's devotion to his friends and classmates is a reflection of the series' emphasis on teamwork and emotional bonds. He is always ready to risk his own well-being for the sake of others, whether it's in battle or during moments of personal struggle. His unshakable belief that people are worth protecting is what makes him a true hero. Midoriya's quiet acts of bravery, from standing up to villains to supporting his classmates, remind us that heroism is often defined by the little things, the moments of selflessness that may go unnoticed but are felt deeply by those around us. Fact 88. Midoriya's growth as a hero is intertwined with his emotional resilience. He faces countless challenges, both physical and emotional, that test his limits. But through each trial, he learns to embrace his vulnerability, understanding that it is his compassion and determination, not his strength, that make him a hero. His journey speaks to the idea that heroism is not about being invincible, but about learning to rise, even when you feel broken. Midoriya's quiet resilience, his ability to continue despite his fears and doubts, is what truly makes him a hero in the eyes of others. Fact 89. Midoriya's relationship with his mother is an emotional cornerstone of his character. As a young boy, Midoriya desperately wanted to be a hero like All Might. But his mother's fear for him, after he was born quirkless, was a difficult hurdle. Their quiet, supportive bond is tested as Midoriya's journey unfolds, but through it all, his mother's unwavering belief in him becomes a quiet source of strength. As he grows into his role as a hero, Midoriya realizes that his true strength comes not only from his abilities, but from the love and support of those who believe in him. Fact 90. Midoriya's struggle with his feelings of inadequacy and his desire to prove himself is a universal theme in My Hero Academia. His journey is one of self acceptance, as he learns that his worth is not defined by his quirk or his ability to surpass others, but by his determination, kindness, and willingness to keep fighting. This quiet struggle with self doubt resonates deeply with audiences, showing that heroism isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent, being vulnerable, and always striving to be a better version of yourself, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Fact 91. Katsuki Bakugo's character is deeply complex, shaped by a desire to prove his strength and an underlying fear of inadequacy. His explosive quirk reflects his fiery personality, yet beneath his brash exterior, there is a quiet longing for validation. Bakugo's journey is one of learning humility and understanding that strength comes from more than just brute force. His evolution throughout the series speaks to the quiet battle of self acceptance, as he slowly realizes that true strength lies not in dominance, but in the courage to acknowledge his flaws and grow from them, no matter how difficult. Fact 92. Bakugo's relationship with Midoriya is one of the most dynamic in My Hero Academia, built on years of rivalry and unspoken tension. Initially, Bakugo views Midoriya as weak and unworthy of being a hero, but over time, their relationship shifts from antagonism to mutual respect. Bakugo's growth is marked by his slow realization that heroism isn't about being the strongest or the best, it's about protecting others and standing up for what is right. Midoriya's quiet persistence, despite Bakugo's harsh treatment, plays a significant role in Bakugo's transformation as he begins to see value in both humility and teamwork. Fact 93. Shoto Todoroki's quirk is symbolic of his internal struggle between his fiery father, Endeavor, and his ice-using mother. His ability to control both fire and ice represents the conflict between his parents' contrasting influences on his life. Todoroki's journey is one of reconciliation, learning to embrace both sides of himself. His struggle is quiet, emotional, and deeply personal as he works to break free from the toxic expectations of his father while also confronting the pain caused by his mother's emotional scars. His growth represents the quiet strength required to heal and accept one's complicated past. Fact 94. Todoroki's stoic nature often makes him seem cold or distant, but his emotional growth is one of the most profound in the series. Initially, Todoroki uses his quirk as a shield to protect himself from his painful past, but as he learns to control both aspects of his abilities, he begins to open up. His journey is about learning to accept himself, flaws and all, and to heal the wounds inflicted by his father's obsession with perfection. Todoroki's evolution speaks to the quiet power of emotional healing, showing that the path to strength is often through vulnerability. Fact 95. The relationship between Todoroki and his father, Endeavor, is a central source of conflict for Shoto. Endeavor's harsh and demanding nature has shaped Todoroki's perception of heroism, making him question whether being a hero means sacrificing one's personal happiness. Todoroki's arc is not only about learning to control his quirk, but also about understanding what it means to be a hero on his own terms, separate from his father's legacy. His journey is one of emotional freedom, as he learns that true heroism comes from embracing his own path, not the one dictated by others. Fact 96. Bakugo's pride often causes friction between him and his classmates, but it also serves as a source of motivation for his growth. While Bakugo's aggressive personality can be off putting, it is also a reflection of his deep desire to be recognized and respected. His journey is one of learning that respect is not something that can be demanded, but something that is earned through humility, kindness, and empathy. His emotional arc is slow and filled with small, hard earned victories as he learns that true strength lies not in overwhelming others, but in understanding and supporting them. Fact 97. Todoroki's quiet rivalry with Bakugo reflects the broader theme of competition in My Hero Academia, where strength is not just about physical abilities, but emotional growth. Their rivalry is not one of animosity, but of mutual respect, as both characters recognize the power within each other. Todoroki's emotional growth is catalyzed by his understanding that Bakugo's raw determination and fiery spirit are qualities he can learn from, just as Bakugo learns from Todoroki's calm control and compassion. Their relationship becomes one of mutual admiration, where both characters push each other to become better versions of themselves. Fact 98. Shoto. Todoroki's internal struggle is a reflection of the larger theme in My Hero Academia. The idea that heroism is not about perfection, but about learning to accept one's flaws and grow from them. Todoroki's journey is not just about mastering his quirk, but about reconciling his past with his future. His quirk represents the duality within him, the fire of his father's ambitions and the coldness of his mother's pain. Todoroki's growth is about learning to accept both sides of himself, recognizing that neither part defines him entirely, and that heroism comes from embracing the full complexity of one's identity. Fact 99. Todoroki's relationship with his mother is one of the most emotionally charged aspects of his character. After his mother poured boiling water on him in a moment of emotional breakdown, Todoroki became deeply conflicted, unable to understand her actions. However, as he matures, he comes to see that his mother's behavior was a reflection of her own emotional scars, and he begins to heal from the trauma of his past. Todoroki's journey is a quiet exploration of forgiveness, showing that healing often comes from understanding, empathy, and the willingness to forgive both oneself and others. Fact 100. Bakugo's emotional growth is deeply intertwined with his desire to be recognized, but also his deep fear of failure. His intense drive to be the best stems from a childhood where he was constantly praised for his abilities, leading him to develop an inflated sense of self-worth. However, as the series progresses, Bakugo's journey becomes one of understanding that failure is not a reflection of his worth, but a part of growth. His quiet realization that he can be vulnerable and still valuable is one of the most powerful transformations in the series, showing that true strength comes from accepting one's humanity. Fact 101. The League of Villains in My Hero Academia represents the darker side of heroism, but their motivations are more complex than mere villainy. Each member of the League is shaped by personal struggles, deep-seated pain, and desires to rebel against a society they feel has rejected them. Characters like Tamura Shigaraki and Dabi are not evil for the sake of being evil. They are victims of their pasts, seeking power and meaning in a world that has hurt them. This complexity adds depth to the League, showing that even those who walk the darker path are shaped by personal histories. Fact 102: Tamura Shigaraki, the leader of the League of Villains, embodies the quiet rage of a generation scarred by a broken system. His backstory, filled with trauma and loss, shows that his desire for destruction is born from a deep emotional void. Shigaraki's journey is one of inner turmoil, where his quest for power is also a search for identity and control. His growing understanding of what it means to be a villain and what it costs reflects the series' exploration of the fine line between good and evil. His quiet despair is as integral to his character as his rage. Fact 103: Dabi, one of the core members of the League, is driven by a desire for revenge and a need to destroy the symbol of heroism that he believes failed him. His quirk, which allows him to generate intense blue flames, mirrors his emotional turmoil and inner fire. In Dabi's past, particularly his relationship with his family and his feelings of abandonment, is a major factor in shaping his current path. His character is a quiet reminder that villains are often shaped by neglect and emotional scars, revealing the fragility of human hearts, even those that seem hardened by anger. Fact 104: Toga Himiko, another prominent member of the League, is driven by a fascination with others' identities and a desire to feel connected. Her quirk, which allows her to transform into others by using their blood, reflects her emotional struggle with her own identity. Toga's actions, while extreme, are motivated by a longing for acceptance and a deep desire to understand the people around her. Her character highlights the theme of identity and the lengths some will go to in order to find a place where they truly belong. Toga's journey is one of emotional disconnection seeking reconnection. Fact 105: The League of Villains often serves as a dark mirror to the heroes, showing what can happen when individuals are pushed to their limits and stripped of hope. Each member represents different forms of emotional struggle: Shigaraki's grief, Dabi's pain, Toga's loneliness, and Twice's fractured sense of self. Their collective journey is not about pure evil, but about the quiet chaos that ensues when society fails to address the emotional wounds of its individuals. The League's growth throughout the series is a tragic reminder that villainy is often born not from malice, but from the scars left by neglect. Fact 26: Twice, a member of the League with the ability to create clones of others, is one of the most tragic figures in My Hero Academia. His quirk, which initially appears to be a tool for chaos, is a direct reflection of his fractured sense of self. Twice's backstory reveals the emotional toll of living with constant self-doubt and confusion, unable to differentiate between his clones and himself. His emotional journey is one of self-acceptance, as he slowly begins to trust in his own identity. Twice's struggle speaks to the universal theme of learning to embrace who we truly are. Fact 107: The relationship between the League of Villains and the Paranormal Liberation Front is one of gradual evolution, representing the shifting alliances and fractured relationships within the villainous side of the story. While the League initially operates as a smaller, more chaotic group, its eventual merger with the Liberation Front represents a growth in both size and ambition. This evolution speaks to the ongoing theme of change and transformation in My Hero Academia. The quiet collaboration between these two factions shows that even villains, like heroes, must adapt and grow in order to achieve their goals, no matter the cost. Fact 108: Shigaraki's relationship with All for One, the mastermind behind much of the League's operations, is one of mentorship and manipulation. All for One, who has spent years building his empire of power, sees Shigaraki as both a successor and a tool. Shigaraki, in turn, is initially torn between his desire to forge his own path and his need for guidance. The dynamic between the two is a complex web of emotional dependence and manipulation, reflecting the ways in which power can be both empowering and damaging. Shigaraki's journey is one of breaking free from this toxic relationship. Fact 109: The League of Villains, while often seen as a group of villains, is made up of individuals who struggle with their own feelings of inadequacy and rejection. The bond between the members is not built on shared malice, but on the quiet understanding that they are all outcasts. This sense of camaraderie, formed from shared pain and struggle, makes the League a tragic yet powerful force. As each member grows, they become more unified, showing that even those who walk the darker path are seeking something deeply human: belonging, purpose, and the chance to make their own mark on the world. Fact 110: Despite their villainous roles, the members of the League of Villains often show glimpses of vulnerability that make them more relatable. Shigaraki's rage, Dabi's bitterness, and Toga's longing for connection are all born from emotional wounds that the heroes are rarely aware of. Horikoshi's depiction of the League since emphasizes that villainy is not a clear-cut matter of good versus evil, but a complicated web of personal struggles and societal failures. Their quiet emotional depth makes them more than just antagonists. They are individuals who, in their own way, seek freedom from the pain that has shaped them. Fact 111: The world of My Hero Academia is intricately built, with quirks woven seamlessly into everyday life. Society functions differently than our own, as quirks have evolved from being rare phenomena to the norm. Cities, industries, and even laws have adapted to accommodate the overwhelming presence of quirks. The world building is carefully designed to show the intersection between extraordinary abilities and the ordinary lives of people. This blend of the extraordinary with the mundane creates a sense of familiarity, making the world feel both fantastical and grounded as the characters navigate a world that is both thrilling and full of everyday challenges. Fact 112: Horikoshi's attention to detail in creating the world of My Hero Academia extends to the legal and social systems surrounding quirks. In this society, quirks are not only a source of power, but also come with responsibilities. Hero licenses are required to use quirks for professional purposes, creating a system of checks and balances. This system reflects the theme of control, where power is both a privilege and a burden. The idea that heroes must be licensed is a subtle commentary on the importance of accountability in wielding power, highlighting the complexity of a world built on extraordinary abilities. Fact 113: The economic structure of the My Hero Academia world is also affected by the presence of quirks. Certain industries have risen based on the needs of quirked individuals, such as quirk-related medical fields, support companies, and even hero merchandise. These industries have created a bustling economy, one that mirrors the complexities of real-world economies. The existence of quirks introduces a new layer of privilege and inequality, where some people benefit from their abilities while others are marginalized. This world building detail is subtle but important, emphasizing how quirks shape not only individuals, but entire societal systems. Fact 114 UA: High school is not just a school for future heroes, but a microcosm of the larger society of My Hero Academia. The school's structure and curriculum are designed to reflect the balance between personal growth and public service. Students are trained not just to master their quirks, but to understand the moral and ethical responsibilities that come with their powers. The school itself serves as a reminder that true heroes must be developed holistically, with a focus on emotional intelligence, leadership, and teamwork, in addition to physical strength and combat skills. It is its own place for heroes to grow into well rounded individuals. Fact 115: In My Hero Academia, the societal division between heroes and villains is reflected not only in their actions, but in their symbolic roles within the world. Heroes are often seen as figures of hope and safety, while villains are viewed as the embodiment of chaos and destruction. However, as the series progresses, this dichotomy becomes more blurred. The personal stories of both heroes and villains reveal that their actions are often driven by trauma, survival, and a desire for control. This subtle world building choice challenges the viewer to question the true nature of good and evil and the gray areas in between. Fact 116: The portrayal of villains in My Hero Academia is carefully constructed to reflect societal fears and the consequences of neglecting marginalized individuals. The League of Villains, for example, is made up of characters who feel rejected by society, either because of their quirks, their upbringing, or their past traumas. This world building decision highlights the series' exploration of how society's failure to address emotional and social issues can lead to rebellion. Villains, then, are not just obstacles for the heroes, but tragic reflections of the flaws within the system they oppose, symbolizing the consequences of a world built on inequality. Fact 117: Horikoshi's world building also extends to the cultural aspects of society, where quirks have influenced everyday customs, traditions, and even entertainment. For example, hero rankings and popularity contests are not just central to the professional hero industry, but have become a major part of public life. Citizens follow their favorite heroes as they would celebrities, and the concept of hero worship is deeply ingrained in the culture. This aspect of the world building subtly critiques the way society often elevates individuals to godlike statuses, showing the psychological impact that comes with living in a world where being a hero is not just a job, but an identity. Fact 118: The existence of quirks has also affected the way families are viewed and structured in My Hero Academia. In many cases, children inherit their quirks from their parents, creating a societal expectation for family legacies to continue. This creates emotional pressures for children as they feel obligated to live up to the expectations of their parents, especially when their parents are successful pro heroes. Families like the Todoroki family, where expectations and control are central, reflect the emotional and societal burdens that come with having a powerful quirk, adding depth to the personal struggles of characters in the series. Fact 119: The series subtly explores the idea that quirks are a form of genetic inheritance, leading to a quiet but impactful discussion on the ethics of power. The presence of powerful or dangerous quirks in certain families, like the Todoroki or Bakugo families, raises questions about how power is distributed and inherited. The emotional struggles these characters face are often tied to their familial legacies, and the societal pressures they experience reflect the tension between personal desires and familial expectations. Quirks, in this sense, are not just a personal gift, they are a legacy that shapes the character's identities, struggles, and relationships. Fact 120: the portrayal of the media in My Hero Academia is another important aspect of its world building. The media often plays a dual role as a tool for promoting heroes and controlling public perception, but also as a reflection of societal values and fears. Heroes are frequently showcased as celebrities, with their actions heavily scrutinized. This portrayal critiques the way the media often elevates individuals to the status of idols, ignoring the complexities of their lives and struggles. It also highlights the way public opinion can shape the success or failure of a hero, creating emotional pressure and influencing their actions. Fact 121: the animation style of My Hero Academia is a vital part of its storytelling, reflecting both the intense action and emotional depth of the series. The fluidity of the fight scenes, paired with the more subdued, quieter moments of character interaction, showcases the balance between external chaos and internal struggles. Horikoshi's decision to blend bold, dramatic action sequences with softer, introspective moments allows the series to feel both cinematic and personal. The careful use of color and animation techniques highlights the emotional tones of each scene, making every moment, whether intense or calm, feel significant and immersive. Fact 122: the voice acting in My Hero Academia plays a significant role in bringing its characters to life, with each actor carefully crafting their performance to reflect the emotional depth of their character. For example, Daiki Yamashita, who voices Midoriya, brings a soft but determined tone to the role, capturing both his vulnerability and his quiet resolve. Similarly, Nobuhiko Okamoto's portrayal of Bakugo balances his explosive personality with moments of vulnerability, adding complexity to his character. The voice acting not only enhances the emotional weight of the series, but also helps convey the internal struggles of each character. Fact 123: one of the key elements of My Hero Academia's success is its use of music to reflect the emotional atmosphere of the story. The soundtrack, composed by Yuki Hayashi, blends orchestral and rock elements to create a sense of both grandeur and intimacy. The music swells during epic battles, amplifying the tension, but also softens during emotional scenes, allowing the characters' struggles to resonate deeply with the audience. The subtlety and emotional depth of the music serve to enhance the themes of growth, sacrifice, and personal development that are central to the series. Fact 124: Horikoshi's attention to detail in character design is a crucial aspect of the show, as every character's appearance is carefully crafted to reflect their personality and emotional journey. For example, Todoroki's two-toned hair symbolizes his internal conflict between his fiery father and his cold mother. Bakugo's spiky hair and aggressive posture represent his fiery personality and his desire for dominance. These visual cues, along with the characters' quirks and expressions, help tell their stories without words. Horikoshi's designs create a visual language that deepens the emotional connection between the audience and the characters. Fact 725: Horikoshi has often spoken about his love for manga and how it influences his work in My Hero Academia. Growing up, he was inspired by classic manga series like Dragon Ball and One Piece, which helped shape his approach to storytelling. What stands out in Horikoshi's work is his ability to balance the larger than life battles with quiet, introspective moments. This blend of action and emotional depth allows the series to appeal to both fans of exciting, high stakes conflicts and those who appreciate character driven stories. His love for manga is woven into every aspect of the show. Fact 126: The development of My Hero Academia as a manga was a process of careful experimentation for Horikoshi. The first few chapters underwent many revisions before they found their final form. Horikoshi was particularly focused on balancing the pace of the story, mixing action with character development. One of his biggest challenges was creating a world where both heroes and villains had emotional depth, avoiding simplistic portrayals. This attention to character nuance, combined with the high stakes battles, became the foundation of My Hero Academia, which has since gained a global fan base for its unique balance of emotion and action. Fact 127: Horikoshi's inspiration for My Hero Academia draws from various sources, including Western comics and Japanese superhero stories. He has mentioned that his love for classic American superhero comics, particularly the works of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, influenced the character designs and the larger than life feeling of the series. However, unlike traditional Western superhero stories, My Hero Academia emphasizes the personal growth of its characters, making them more relatable and grounded. This blend of Western superhero elements with Japanese storytelling conventions gives the series a unique flavor that resonates with audiences worldwide. Fact 128: The storyboarding process for My Hero Academia is a crucial part of its visual storytelling. Horikoshi takes great care in planning out each chapter, ensuring that the pacing of the narrative aligns with the emotional tone of the scenes. His attention to panel composition and the flow of action ensures that the story feels dynamic, even in quieter moments. The careful use of space, angles, and perspective in the manga enhances the emotional impact of each scene, guiding the reader's focus and allowing them to connect with the characters on a deeper level. Fact 129: In My Hero Academia, the sense of community and camaraderie is a key theme, and this is reflected in how the characters are often shown working together. Whether it's the students of Class 1A supporting one another or the pro heroes working in teams to fight villains, the series emphasizes the power of collaboration. This theme of teamwork is not just about physical combat, but also about emotional support, showing that even the most powerful individuals need help from others to succeed. The quiet acts of solidarity between characters form the heart of the story. Fact 130: Horikoshi's ability to craft both exciting action sequences and deeply emotional moments is one of the defining features of My Hero Academia. The series often juxtaposes moments of intense action with slower, more introspective scenes, allowing the audience to process the emotional weight of the characters' journeys. This balance of pacing is particularly effective in making the stakes of the battles feel personal. When characters fight, it's not just about winning, it's about overcoming their fears, doubts, and insecurities. The quiet emotional beats in the middle of these action packed moments deepen the connection between the characters and the audience. 131: My Hero Academia is rich with symbolism, much of which is tied to the emotional growth of the characters. One of the most prominent symbols in the series is the concept of one for all, a quirk that passes down through generations. This power represents the legacy of heroes and the responsibility they carry. It symbolizes the quiet weight of mentorship, sacrifice, and the passing of knowledge, showing that heroism is not just about personal achievement, but about helping others rise, creating a continuous cycle of hope and fostering the strength of future generations. Fact 132: the symbol of peace, All Might, is one of the most powerful symbols in My Hero Academia. His character represents not only the ideals of heroism, but the fragility of those ideals when faced with the harsh realities of the world. His transformation from a mighty figure to a vulnerable one speaks to the inevitable passing of power, emphasizing that the symbols we rely on are not eternal. All Might's vulnerability is symbolic of the passing of the torch, where the strength of one hero gives way to the potential of the next generation to carry that symbol forward. Fact 133: quirks in My Hero Academia are more than just powers. They are symbolic of each individual's personal journey and emotional struggles. For instance, Midoriya's quirk, One for All, represents his internal struggle with self worth and his journey to find his place in a world dominated by powerful abilities. Similarly, Bakugo's explosive quirk symbolizes his fiery personality and his deep seated fear of being perceived as weak. Each quirk carries, with it, emotional weight, representing not just an ability, but the character's inner conflict, growth, and the quiet strength they must cultivate to become true heroes. Fact 134: the theme of inheritance plays a crucial role in My Hero Academia, with the passing of One for All from All Might to Midoriya, symbolizing the transfer of wisdom, responsibility, and legacy. This transfer is not just physical, but emotional, as Midoriya takes on the mantle of being a hero who inspires others, just as All Might did. The concept of inheritance, both in terms of quirks and values, underscores the series' exploration of what it means to be a hero, not just to fight, but to carry the weight of ideals that can influence generations to come. Fact 135: the conflict between heroism and villainy in My Hero Academia is often shown not as a simple dichotomy, but as a reflection of emotional and social struggles. Villains like Shigaraki and Dabi are not just antagonists, they are products of a broken system, each struggling with deep personal trauma. This adds emotional complexity to the villains, showing that heroism is not a clear cut black and white concept. Instead, it explores the shades of gray, where villains, much like heroes, are shaped by their environments, their personal struggles, and the quiet choices they make when confronted by pain. Fact 136: My Hero Academia subtly explores the theme of societal pressure through characters like Todoroki and Bakugo. Both of these characters are shaped by the intense expectations placed on them by their families, particularly their fathers. Todoroki is driven by the need to live up to his father's desire for him to surpass All Might, while Bakugo is pushed to be the strongest hero in a society that values strength above all else. Their journeys are about breaking free from these external pressures and defining their own paths, showing the quiet power of self acceptance and inner freedom. Fact 137: one of the recurring symbols in My Hero Academia is the idea of masks, both literal and metaphorical. Heroes wear costumes that are meant to conceal their identities, but often the true challenge is learning to reconcile their public personas with their private selves. All Might's mask, for example, represents not just the ideal of heroism, but the persona he must maintain to inspire others. The theme of masks speaks to the emotional conflict between who the characters are and who they are expected to be as they navigate the difficult path of remaining true to themselves. Fact 138. The exploration of legacy is central to the emotional depth of My Hero Academia. The passing of All Might's power to Midoriya is a direct representation of the passing of ideals, wisdom, and responsibility from one generation to the next. However, this inheritance is not without its struggles. Midoriya must learn to carry the weight of his predecessors' expectations, while also finding his own way to define heroism. This theme of legacy underscores the importance of mentorship and the quiet responsibility that comes with taking on the mantle of something larger than oneself. Fact 139. My Hero Academia uses the symbol of light and darkness to explore the emotional growth of its characters. Heroes are often associated with light, representing hope, clarity, and guidance, while villains are linked to darkness, symbolizing confusion, pain, and fear. However, this dichotomy is often blurred. All Might's shining persona contrasts with his internal struggles, while Shigaraki's dark, villainous nature is a product of his traumatic past. The interplay between light and darkness in the series reflects the emotional complexity of the characters, showing that heroism is not simply about light, but about overcoming darkness within. Fact 140. The concept of normal in My Hero Academia is deeply explored, especially through characters like Midoriya, who begins as a quirkless boy in a world where quirks are the norm. His journey is about embracing the fact that heroism doesn't come from fitting into society's expectations of what a hero should be, but from accepting one's differences and using them to make a difference. The series explores the quiet power of being true to oneself, even in a world that often values conformity. Midoriya's transformation speaks to the power of self-acceptance and the courage to forge one's own path. Fact 141. My Hero Academia has made a profound impact on the anime and manga landscape, blending traditional superhero elements with deep emotional storytelling. Its unique exploration of heroism, vulnerability, and personal growth has resonated with audiences around the world. The series' focus on diverse characters and their emotional journeys has redefined what it means to be a hero, moving beyond mere physical strength. The impact of My Hero Academia lies in its ability to make the audience reflect on their own lives, inspiring them to find their inner hero in moments of quiet struggle and self-doubt. Fact 142. One of the lasting impacts of My Hero Academia is its ability to encourage empathy and understanding for those who are different. The series emphasizes the importance of accepting oneself, regardless of one's quirks or abilities. This message of self-acceptance is particularly powerful in a world where people are often judged based on outward appearances or societal expectations. Through characters like Midoriya, who is initially quirkless, and Bakugo, who grapples with his pride, the series teaches that true strength lies in embracing one's vulnerabilities and finding the courage to be authentic, no matter the obstacles. Fact 143. The emotional depth of My Hero Academia has made it more than just an action-packed series. It's a narrative that explores the complexities of relationships, self-identity, and growth. The quiet struggles of the characters are depicted with such care that the audience can relate to their journey, not just in terms of heroism, but in the universal human experience. From Midoriya's journey of self-doubt To Todoroki's battle with his family legacy, the series teaches that the path to becoming a hero is often paved with emotional growth, learning to accept one's flaws, and working to become better for others. Fact 144: the global appeal of My Hero Academia lies in its universal themes of growth and self discovery. While the series is set in a world filled with quirky superpowers, its central focus on the personal struggles of its characters makes it relatable to a wide audience. The emotional resonance of the series speaks to the heart of what it means to be human, facing challenges, dealing with personal insecurities, and rising to the occasion when others need you. The series' ability to balance larger than life action with quiet, introspective moments allows it to reach audiences from all walks of life. Fact 145: My Hero Academia also examines the pressure of expectations, especially in relation to characters like Todoroki, Bakugo, and Midoriya. These characters are burdened with the desire to meet not only their personal goals, but the expectations set by others, whether it's their parents, society, or mentors. The series reflects the emotional toll that such pressures can take, showing that true heroism isn't about meeting others' expectations, but about embracing one's own path. The journey of these characters serves as a quiet reminder that heroes are made when they find the strength to rise above external pressures. Fact 146: the theme of mentorship is central to My Hero Academia, with All Might serving as the primary example of a mentor who imparts wisdom and guidance to his student, Midoriya. However, the series also explores how mentorship can be found in various forms, from Aizawa's quiet support to the guidance provided by friends like Uraraka and Ida. Mentorship in the series is about more than teaching physical skills. It's about emotional growth, building trust, and inspiring others to reach their full potential. This emphasis on the importance of mentors adds depth to the series' exploration of heroism. Fact 147: one of the key elements of My Hero Academia is the subtle critique of hero culture and the media's portrayal of heroes. In the world of the series, heroes are often idolized and treated like celebrities, with their actions constantly scrutinized by the media. This portrayal highlights the pressure that comes with fame and public expectation. The series invites the audience to reflect on the human side of heroism, how it's not just about saving the day, but also about maintaining one's identity in a world that often reduces complex individuals to simple, heroic symbols. Fact 148: the concept of legacy is deeply explored in My Hero Academia, particularly through the passing of One for All from All Might to Midoriya. This legacy represents more than just the transfer of power. It's this passing down of ideals, values, and responsibilities. Midoriya's acceptance of this legacy is not just about inheriting All Might's abilities, but about taking on the emotional burden of being a symbol of hope. The theme of legacy extends beyond One for All, as the series emphasizes the importance of shaping future generations and the quiet responsibility that comes with being a mentor. Fact 149: My Hero Academia has had a lasting cultural impact, inspiring fans around the world to reflect on their own values, dreams, and fears. The series' exploration of self doubt, perseverance, and the desire to protect others resonates with people of all ages. It encourages viewers to find their own strengths and overcome their own obstacles, just as the characters do. The quiet, everyday acts of courage shown by the heroes serve as a reminder that heroism doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes, the most heroic thing is simply showing up for others when they need it most. Fact 150: the impact of My Hero Academia extends far beyond its storylines and characters. It's a series that has fostered a global community united by the themes of hope, perseverance, and growth. The show's exploration of the complexities of heroism, vulnerability, and identity has touched the hearts of millions, reminding audiences that true heroes are defined not by their powers, but by their actions, their choices, and their compassion. As the series continues to evolve, it will undoubtedly leave a lasting legacy, inspiring future generations to embrace their own strengths, overcome their struggles, and ultimately become heroes in their own right. Thank you for drifting through these facts with me tonight. We've explored the heroes, the struggles, and the quiet growth of characters who, like all of us, strive to find their place in the world. May these stories remind you that heroism is not just about strength, but about kindness, resilience, and the courage to continue, even when the path seems uncertain. As you prepare to rest, may your heart be filled with peace and your dreams be full of hope. Good night, dear friend. May you find your own quiet strength, just as the heroes of My Hero Academia do.